Hey there guys, and here we go again back to 1908. It is still May 27th, 1908. We've got the Detroit Tigers at the Philadelphia Athletics. You would think, if you haven't watched any of these games yet, that maybe we're showcasing this game because of the Tigers. No, it's because of the Athletics, actually. We'll take a look at the standings here. The Athletics are a game and a half behind the Cleveland Naps. They've won 2 in a row. The Browns tied with them at 22-16. The Tigers are actually in 5th place, 500 now, 18-18, with 4.5 games behind the front-running Naps. And that's the way that 1908 is shaping out. For a little while, it looked like the Red Sox were going to run away with it, but then it all caught up with them. The National League, if you haven't paid much attention, the Giants are still in control, and they beat the Cubs the other day. And so here we go for a little bit more 1908 Skeeter Soft action. It'll be Matty McIntyre leading this off. His roll is a 64 for a 13, and that's a strikeout for Rube Vickers. Vickers collects strikeout number 38. Now, Rube has given up 35 walks, 1.94 ERA, but a 6-4 record. It's got to be because of those walks. Roll for Germany Schaefer, the next batter, is a 22 for an 8. It's a ground ball over to short. Nichols has that and throws to first. There's 2 away, and here's Sam Crawford. Crawford hitting 307, and he rolls a 24 for a 31. That will be a fly ball over to center field. It will be Coombs who makes that catch for the out. We go now to the bottom of the first inning, and there is no score. Here comes Topsy Hartzell for the Athletics. Hartzell hitting 214, and the Athletics are up against Ed Killian, who's 1-5 with a 2.57 ERA. Rolls a 26 for a 27. It's a ground ball over to third. Coughlin fields that and throws to first. There's 1 away. Simon Nichols now, and he rolls an 11 for a 0, and his next roll is a 33 for a 1. And so Nichols hits one over the right field fence for a home run for the Athletics, and it's a 1-0 lead for Philadelphia just like that. That'll bring up now Eddie Collins. 1-0 Athletics. Collins rolls a 16 for a 26. Ground ball to second. Downs fields that and throws to first. 2 away. And here comes Harry Davis. Davis's roll is a 56. 56 with for a 34 with a little E. And the little E result is a 41. So it's a pop-up over to short. Schaefer has that for the out. And that takes us now to the top of the second inning. 1-0 though now Athletics. Here comes Ty Cobb. Cobb is hitting 333, is that all? He's doing a lot better now. He wasn't doing so well earlier in this season. His roll is a 23 for a 29. Comebacker to Vickers, who throws to first and gets him 1 away. Claude Rossman now, and he rolls a 24 for a 13. And there's a strikeout. Rube Vickers has his second, I believe. Let me fix this up here and take a look. Yep, 2 strikeouts. Next up, Bill Coughlin rolls a 12 for a 24. There is a little E roll again. And the roll is a 63. It's out of the range. It's a ground ball over to short. And Nichols has that and throws over to first for the out. And so we go to the bottom of the second inning. Bottom of the second inning here, and it's a 1-0 lead still for Philadelphia. Here comes Danny Murphy. Murphy's roll 54 for a 45. There is a little E roll, and it's a 52, so it's out of the range. Fly ball to right field, and Cobb has that one 1 away. Jimmy Collins comes up now hitting 207. The other Collins, the elder Collins, and he rolls a 14 for a 43. There is a little E roll. Collins in real life hit up closer in the order. Rolls a 52, and it's out of the range. Fly ball to left. McIntyre's got that 2 away. Here comes Jack Coombs. And I bring that up because we're hitting Collins low because he's not hitting. Coombs now rolls an 11 for a 0, and here's another one. Rolls a 61 for a 6, and there's another chance at a home run. But this rolls a 41. It's going to be out of that range. It's a double for Coombs, and he winds up perched on second base with the second hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Mike Powers. 1-0 Athletics. Bottom of the second. Powers rolls a 26 for a 30. It's a fly ball over to left. McIntyre has that one for the out. That brings us now to the top of the third inning. It's a 1-0 lead still for Philadelphia. Here comes Bosch Schmidt. His roll 34 for a 44, fly ball to center. Coombs has that for the out, 1 away. Here's Red Downs. Roll 63 for a 30, and that's a fly ball over to left. Hartzell has that, and there's 2 away. Up now is Ed Killian. And he rolls a 33 for an 8. That's going to be a fly ball over to center. Coombs will make the catch for the out. And that will take us now to the bottom of the third inning. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Athletics. Here comes Rube Vickers. And Vickers rolls an 11 for a 7. That's a single to right field. That'll bring up Hartzell. So the third hit for the Athletics belongs to the pitcher. Here comes Topsy. And I mean, what do you do here? Do you swing away or have him bunt? I'm actually going to have him bunt. Might as well. Not going to hit and run, we know that. And the roll is an 11 for a 0. This is going to be a wasted one. And then a 16 would have been a double. Instead, it's a bunt over to the left side. Coughlin fields that, throws over 2 downs, covering it first. And Vickers moves up 1 bag. 1 away. And here comes Simon Nichols with the runner in scoring position. His roll 42 for a 13 and strikes out. 2 away. And here comes Eddie Collins. And Collins rolls a 64 for a 29. It's a ground ball to the first baseman, Rossman, and he flips over to Killian, who's covering at the bag for him for the out. We go now to the top of the 4th inning, and it is a 1-0 lead still for the Athletics. Here's Matty McIntyre. He rolls a 25 for an 8. That's a ground ball to short. Nichols has that and throws to first. 1 away. Germany Schaefer now. His roll 44 for an 8. It's a ground ball again to short. Nichols on to first. 2 gone. Here is Sam Crawford. And his roll is a 54 for a 45. There's a little E-roll to worry about, and it's a 25 out of the range. Fly ball over to right. That'll be caught there easily by Murphy for the 3rd out. We go now to the bottom of the 4th inning, fast-moving ball game. Here comes Harry Davis for the Athletics. Davis rolls a 45 for a 14, and he will walk, and that'll bring up Danny Murphy. So Murphy hitting 232. Davis on at first base. There's no base hits in this game at all other than that home run, basically. So Murphy's going to bunt, and it's a 66 for a 0. And then a 41 for an 8. It would have been a single. Instead, it's a bunt back to Killian, and he throws over to Downs, covering at first for the out. And there's 1 away here for Jimmy Collins with a runner in scoring position. His roll a 61 for a 32, fly ball to right, and Cobb has that. There's 2 away, and here comes Jack Coombs, the pitcher. Actually, I'm sorry, he's the center fielder. He rolls the 31 for a 9, and that's going to be a ground ball over to first base. Rossman fields that one and goes to the bag himself. And so we go to the top of the 5th inning. It's a 1-0 lead for the Athletics. Here comes Ty Cobb. Roll for Cobb, 64 for a 9. That's a single first hit of the game for the Tigers, but then he's thrown out trying to steal. So 1 away. Here comes Claude Rossman. Rossman's roll 21 for a 30. Fly ball over to left, and Hartzell has that. 2 away. Here comes Bill Coughlin. He rolls a 52 for a 27, ground ball over to third base. It's going to be Collins, Jimmy that is, who fields that and throws to first for the out. Go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's still a 1-0 lead for the Athletics. Here's Mike Powers. He rolls a 45 for a 14 and walks, and that'll bring up Rube Vickers, and of course he's going to bunt. And look at that, 11 for a 7. Every time we've bunted so far, it would have been a base hit otherwise. It's a good bunt to the right side. Rossman fields it, flips over 2 downs, and Powers moves up 1 bag. 1 away, and here comes Topsy Hartzell. He bunted last time up. His roll is a 42 for a 14, and that's going to be a walk. And here now comes Simon Nichols. Nichols with 1 away. Do you bunt or swing away? I think you swing away. Let's see what happens. And the roll is a 52 for a 27. That's going to be a ground ball to third base. Coughlin throws over to Downs, who then throws over to Rossman. And they complete the double play. And so we go now to the top of the 6th inning, and you should have bunted. This is top of the 6th. Bosch Schmidt comes up here for the Tigers. 1-0 the score. He rolls a 22 for a 7. That'll be a single to right. Only the 2nd hit of the game for the Tigers, and that brings up Red Downs. Downs is hitting 224. Of course, he's 0 for 1 today, and he's going to bunt. Roll a 23 for a 32. It's a good bunt to the left side. Collins fields that and throws over to first for the out. Schmidt moves up 1 bag. So 1 away. Here comes the pitcher, Killian. Hitting 087 is Ed. He rolls a 45 for a 36, changed to a 40. That's a little bouncer off in front of the plate. Powers fields that and throws over to Davis at first, and Schmidt moves over to third. 2 away. And here comes Matty McIntyre. His roll is a 43 for a 29. That's a comebacker over to Vickers. He fields that one and throws to first for the out. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. It's a 1-0 game still, and here comes Eddie Collins. Roll for Collins, 65 for a 35. There's a little E-roll. The 53 out of the range. It's a pop-up over to the left side, and it will be Coughlin making the catch for the out. 1 away. Harry Davis now, 1-0 Athletics. He rolls a 46 for a 13, and he'll strike out. There's 2 away here for Danny Murphy. Murphy rolls a 62 for a 12. That'll be a ground ball over to first. Rossman fields that one and goes to the bag himself. We go now to the top of the 7th inning. Fast innings, and here comes Germany Schaefer. Still 1-0 Athletics. Schaefer rolls a 44 for an 8. That's a ground ball to short, and it'll be Nichols fielding that, throwing to first. 1 away. Sam Crawford up next, and he rolls a 46 for a 29. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Vickers on to first, and there's 2 gone. Here comes Ty Cobb. And Cobb rolls a 16 for a 28. Ground ball this time to short. Nichols has it and throws over to first. And we go now to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Jimmy Collins leading this off. Collins today's 0 for 2. His roll of 55 for an A. That's going to be a single, and then he is caught trying to steal. So Jimmy, not sure what the old man's thinking, but he probably shouldn't have tried that. One away. Here comes Jack Coombs. Roll for Coombs is a 66 for a 0, then a 23 for a 6. There's a chance for a home run, but it's a 44 out of the range, and so that will be a double for Coombs. That brings up Powers. With one away, he will swing away. The catcher, hitting 147, has driven in only 1. And his roll 54 for a 45, but there is a little E roll to worry about. It's a 43 out of the range. It'll be a fly ball over to right field. Cobb fields that one, and there's 2 away. Here comes Rube Vickers with that runner on at second. And his roll 63 for a 29. That's a ground ball over to first. Rossman fields that and flips over to Killian, covering at the bag for the out. We go now to the top of the 8th inning. Time running out for the Tigers. Here's Claude Rossman. He rolls a 41 for a 28. It's a ground ball to short. Nichols fields that and throws to first. 1 away. Bill Coughlin now. Bill rolls a 26 for a 27. Ground ball over to third. And Collins, Jimmy that is, fields it, throws to first. And there's 2 away. Here's Bosch Schmidt. Rolls a 33 for a 7. There's a single to right. Only number 3 for the Tigers. And here comes Red Downs. He rolls an 11 for a 0. Downs does have some power. 63 then for a 6. It's going to be a double, and that will score the runner, and that ties this ball game up. That brings it back Killian with 2 outs, top of the 8th. He rolls a 35 for a 13, and he will strike out. So the Tigers are able to tie this game. Go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We're all tied up at 1. And here comes Topsy Hartzell. 1-1 the tie. Hartzell's roll 52 for a 27. Ground ball to third. And Coughlin has that and throws to first. 1 away. Simon Nichols now. He rolls a 22 for a 7. That's a single to right. And that'll bring up Eddie Collins. Nichols is fast. He does not have an 11, however. Collins hitting 269. So I think we're going to bunt. Maybe a controversial decision here, bottom of the 8th inning. And his roll 25 for an 8 would have been a base hit. It's abundance back to Killian, who throws over to first. Nichols moves to second, 2 away. And here comes Harry Davis. Runner on at second base. And the roll by Davis, a 31 for a 9. And that's going to be a ground ball over to Rossman, who fields it and goes to the bag himself. Now we go to the top of the 9th, and I tell you, after having a really exciting game between these two teams in 1949, we have another exciting one here in 1908. Natty McIntyre now rolls a 43 for a 29, comebacker to Vickers, and the throw to first is in time, 1 away. Germany Schaefer now, and he rolls an 11 for a 0. His next roll is a 51 for a 2, and that's going to be a triple to left center field. And there's a moan and a groan up there in the crowd, and the Athletics infield will come in, and up comes Sam Crawford, and you know he's going to swing away, and he's not going to bunt. So up comes Crawford with the potential go-ahead run on first base. He rolls a 46 for a 29. It's a comebacker to Vickers, and he throws to first. Schaefer has to hold at third, and there's 2 away. But here he comes, Ty Cobb, and you think we're going to pitch to him? Walk him. We walk Cobb, and now he's on at first base. The roll would have been at 25, and that would have given the Tigers the lead. That brings up Claude Rossman now. So Cobb is walked intentionally. Runners on at the corners, 2 away, top of the 9th, 1-1 game. And the roll's a 43 for a 29, and it works. It's a comebacker over to Vickers, and he throws to first for the out. That brings us now to the bottom of the 9th inning. So we've had 1 run, 5 hits for the Tigers, and 1 run, 6 hits for the Athletics. Here comes Danny Murphy now. His roll is a 12 for a 24. There is a little E-roll, however. Rolls a 33 out of the range, so it's a ground ball to short. Schaefer fields that, throws to first, 1 away. Here comes Jimmy Collins. Collins rolls a 42 for a 13 and strikes out. There's 2 away, and here comes Jack Coombs. Coombs rolls a 54 for a 45. There is, however, a little E-roll, and it's a 16. The first error of the ballgame will be committed by the first baseman, Rossman. So it was a ground ball hit to Rossman, and he booted that. That'll bring up Mike Powers with the runner on at first base and 2 away. His roll is a 56 for a 34. It's a pop-up over to short, and it'll be captured there by Schaefer, the shortstop. And so we go to the top of the 10th inning. Rube Vickers still looking strong, up against Bill Coughlin now. And his roll is a 44 for an 8. There's a single to left center field. Maybe I spoke too soon. That'll bring up Bosch Schmidt, the catcher, and he's going to bunt. Roll 61 for a 38. It's a bunt over to the left side, and it's fielded there by Collins, who throws over to first for the out. Coughlin moves to second, 1 away. Here now comes Red Downs, 2 chances for the Tigers to win this. Downs rolls a 43 for a 29. It's a ground ball over to first. Davis fields it, flips over to Vickers, and Coughlin moves to third. 2 away, and here comes the pitcher, Ed Killian. We're going to leave him in. His roll 54 for a 45. That may have been a mistake. Fly ball over to right field. Murphy catches that for the out. And so we go to the bottom of the 10th, and it'll be Rube Vickers leading this off, and we might as well leave him in. His roll 55 for a 9. There's a single over short. That's what happens when you leave the pitcher in. That brings up Topsy Hartzell, and we're going to bunt. Roll 26 for a 27. He misses 2 attempts to bunt. 2 strikes on him. He tries to bunt again anyway. It's a 15 for an 11. That's a bunt for a single in on the infield. That'll bring up now Simon Nichols. Killian's going to stay out there, I believe. Nichols, coming into this game, is 2 for 4. He had the big home run to lead this off, and then had a single most recently. His roll is a 54 for a 45. There is a little E-roll, however, and it's a 16. It's going to be another error, and that's changed to a 19, and that's an error on the third baseman, Coughlin, and that loads him up. So up comes Eddie Collins, and I think we've seen enough of Killian. Take a look here and see who we have to choose from. I'm always looking at the game started totals and trying to figure out who has the lowest. Probably going to be Willett, so we will bring in Ed Willett to come into this game. Infield comes in. Up is Eddie Collins. Collins is 0 for 3 today, and it did bunt once. He's not going to bunt with Vickers on a third. And the roll's a 52 for a 27 with the infield in. Ground ball over to the third baseman, Coughlin, who goes home for the force out, and everybody else advances the base. 1 away. Infield comes in again, and here is Harry Davis. Davis today is 0 for 3, and he walked. And look at that. His roll, you can see that right there, is a 33 for a 0. This is going to end this ball game. The next roll for Davis is a 26 for a 6. It's a triple over third, but it's just going to be a single. He gets the big base hit over third base. That scores the winning run. And the final score here is the Athletics 2, the Tigers 1. The Athletics win this game in the bottom of the 10th with a big base hit by Davis. 2 runs on 9 hits for the Athletics, no errors. Tigers 1 run on 6 hits and 2 errors, 1 in the 9th and 1 in the 10th. And there you have it. It doesn't get much more exciting than that, and the Athletics are still in business. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll talk with you again tomorrow. Bye-bye.